Bottom left-hand side, the blue Terran player is Maru. He battles against the red Protoss in the top right side of the map. It is herO. Well, GSL champion playing against many a time GSL champion in the bottom left. Obviously, this is a series which is, again, in the winners qualifier bracket, which means that you are fighting for seeding into Group Stage 2. So this is super important because you win this matchup and you start in Group Stage 2, that's an entire group stage you skip out on. So it's kind of weird because, honestly, it's kind of like they essentially play like a GSL group to determine who skips out on a GSL group. I don't really understand the logic of the qualifiers, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. Like, it doesn't really make sense to me that you make them play a GSL group to see who gets to skip out on a GSL group. Like, you may as well just added that as part of the GSL. It's a little sad, honestly, but you know what? I'm not going to complain because we get to cast Maru versus herO out of it, so we'll take it. The loser of this will have one more chance. That's the winner bracket final match of this bracket, and the loser of this will then get the lower bracket final match to try to win in, and that would also qualify into Group Stage 2. Otherwise, they will start in Group Stage 1 if they lose this match and that matchup. So again, just to try and reiterate what our situation is and what's going on as we get this played. Excellent Cybercore coming through, Reaper and an orbital command coming up, probe on the way as we get settled into the first few moments here. And that factory coming online here from Maru. So we're going to get that started up. Nexus on the way on the natural. We get this started, and we'll see our pylon going into position. So we get that going immediately. Paper popping, and we'll follow this across the map. Maru and obviously recent GSL looked pretty good in Group Stage 1, kind of really flopped in Group Stage 2. And interesting to see how he performs. I mean, honestly, I think this is a great litmus test for how Maru is doing and where he is at, because herO's freaking good, as we know. So, yes, we'll see if he can stand up to herO at all, or if herO really is just kind of pushing the Korean great aside to make his own pathway a little bit at the moment. So yeah, interesting, really interesting matchup, like I say. Love to see who's able to come out on top of this one, as we just have the Sentry, the Twilight Council, a couple of probes in the Warp Gate all getting built up, Command Center and the Starport coming online as well. So all of that is coming through. The Reaper is coming across the map currently and heading toward the natural. Stalker already going to be right there to push the Reaper back the other way. And that Reaper will go back down to the bottom as our Starport builds. The Command Center comes up. And yeah, just have ourselves that high ground CC coming into play here. Nothing really too wild, huh? Just nice and safe. CC on the way on the high ground. Obviously the Reaper is able to poke around a little bit and just get onto the map in general. And the Blink and the Warp Gate coming up from herO is a very standard way for the PvT to go in the early stages, so no surprises on that. As again, the medevac tank, a couple of Marines continue by. Still got the Blink coming through, and we just have, again, the CC coming around for the moment as it heads over toward the natural. So CC going to get to the natural here for the next couple of moments. We have our hallucination coming about as well. Viking, tank, Marine coming over. The orbital command coming up as well. Let's just again get that underway currently. Hallucination fades. Robo facility halfway done. Gateway coming online. Mind drop on the other side. Going to try and find a probe or so, and it really does just find that. One probe, and just the single Widow Mine as well. So very low commitment from Maru, who goes into the Siege Tank, and the Viking is the next step of this game. So tank and the Viking coming online. A couple of SCVs in the refinery coming up as well. Still got the Blink, still got the Robo facility building at the moment. And now Maru is already looking towards the rest of this army as the Marines and the Viking gathering together. Accidental ping by Maru. So for day see that. As yeah, we just have this army going to push up, and so we are going to challenge herO right onto his third base that's building as we speak. So Maru just showing up quickly and gets sieged up. Third Nexus is gonna get a lot of damage onto it. Oh, the tank and Widowmine combined do pretty well against the Stalkers, but can we actually finish off a bunch of these Stalkers? New tank showing up. Maru obviously feels as though he can continue here, otherwise he would have ran this tank away. Sentry Guardian Shield lived through the entirety of its duration there, which is huge as well, blocking some of that range damage. Stalkers gonna siege, get the chance to blink up here as the tank sieges as well, and that is going to be here once again challenging Maru and saying, do you really think you should be here right now? Tell you what, those two Vikings are putting work in, but as we get toward the battery, it just becomes a little bit too much. You can't really break through that battery in play, and that is going to be all of the Vikings going down. That is going to be pretty much a complete cleanup on this one. A couple Stalkers start heading out into the center of the map instead. So there you go. 7 Stalkers over to the bottom left. Raven about to be done. Marines and a siege tank coming up. Tank is going to fire. The Stalker's going to go after the siege tank, and they will get it there. A couple of SCVs going down as well. 2, 3 SCVs dropping so far. You see a force field coming down on the ramp. It's going to block a siege tank for a moment or two as we have. And the Stalkers and the Sentry still nibbling up at this depot. Just going to be seeing that going down, and herO just on the counter track straight up. I mean, obviously did very well already clearing up the army on the other side, and now gets through another siege tank defensively. The Raven having to drop the order turret into play to play defense as well, which means the Raven has got no energy to counterattack with. Maru going to try and build the third CC right in the front here, and then GG out as things do not really add up in his favor at all. And herO is going to wipe the floor with Maru in this opening game, just plain straight simple, boom boom bang. And deal, because while you have a second chance after this, it's just nice to get that group stage skip. You know, GSL is a competitive tournament. You do not really want to be playing against the guys in that group stage 1 if you can avoid it. Just skip on through, let someone else worry about that, let them wear each other down, give yourself another week of rest and preparation. Especially for Maru, if he's nursing a shoulder injury, right, you know, the less he has to kind of build up to play official matches, the better he probably will end up feeling, right? So it would be really huge for him if he gets that group stage 1, like I say, skip available to himself. As he is the blue Terran player. In the bottom left side of the map, Maru taking on herO in the top right as we line ourselves up into game 2 of this best of 3. Really just Maru believing he could get something done with that push and reinforce the push as well. Like, he was still sieging up tanks there, as it really felt like there wasn't going to be enough. Put a lot of emphasis on it. herO at the probe on the low ground, showing us the intention to expand already. No surprises from herO. Nexus goes down. Maru's barracks at home. No SCV scout. Neither player scouting, actually, so both playing completely blind in this early stage. It's both very happy to, yeah, take a couple moments, let the game develop. No one really feeling like the other guy's going to come up and do anything too sneaky or quick or cheeky or anything like that, so feeling pretty reasonable. As that CC comes about, the orbital command coming through. And yeah, Nexus and the Cyber Core continue to come online as well. Continue to bring that up just for the moment. Cyber Core will be finishing. And that factory building, the CC on its way. Have ourselves the Marine just stepping through to the low ground. Just going to come moving across. There's expansion up. Obviously, Maru expanded to the low ground this time. Last time he was expanding high ground and playing very safe about things. This time just going to throw it to the low ground instead. There was sentry popping from herO. Yet to see a tech structure come down. So, oh, an extra gateway from him. So yeah, something a little different here. 2 gateways, no tech structure just yet. Could be an interesting point to keep our eyes on, right? Kind of thing that could have some impact on where this game goes. It's going to be very gateway heavy pressure initially, you'd imagine. As herO looks for some scouting information with this hallucination coming out down to the bottom left-hand side. So that hallucination going straight across, looking to see what we can do here. Marines in the barrack, Cyclone coming online. Hallucination still gathering. And again, just going to see our Cyclone and a couple of Marines are building as we speak. Just going to be seeing the Marines are there. Hallucination still taking damage, so a few more shots coming through. And yeah, that Twilight Council is going to be finishing very, very shortly. So we got that Twilight Council done. And that gives us the opportunity to play into the blink. But yeah, with the second gateway early, it just gives you a few more units initially. As a Marine and Cyclone army step onto the map, I'm already a little bit worried that this is not really what you want to go attack across the map into. Again, someone on the 2 gates, and now go and charge as well. So not even blink from herO, but charge. Really looking to have a hard shutdown on any sort of similar build that Maru just cranked out in the last game. Any aggression here is going to obviously just kind of be shut off immediately. That charge really would be just a bit too powerful, more than likely. As we have the Cyclone going to step around the Marines in the tank. Going to go around the front as well. +1 attack upgrade on the Engineering Bay. Charge building on the Twilight Council. Robo Facility coming into action as well on the Naturals. We just got that up. A couple of Zealots building. We just got ourselves and a little bit more continuing through for the moment. Marines in the tank gathering on the Natural as we have the Probe ready to build a 3rd base. So hero's ready to go for it, which, you know, he should be able to defend most things that come his way super early with that charge. So he is not in the wrong to kind of set up to, you know, get this 3rd going early. And Stimpak and +1 coming up from Maru in return. Starboard online. 2 more Marines coming up. There's a hallucination of herO still coming down to the bottom side of the map as well. Cyclone locking on. Hallucination gets taken out. We'll just see our Stimpak +1 and Combat Shield all continue to come through here currently. The Immortal and the Robo Bay continue to build up. We are going to see these units are just going to attack in. It's one of those moments where it's like, hey, I have charge. Can you deal with charge lots? A lot of the time, this can actually be very effective. We saw that when casting herO games the other day a bit. But this was a reasonable defense from Maru. He lost 8 Marines, but he killed 6 Zealots. A couple of SCVs go down too. It's a very affordable trade-out. It's an affordable trade-out on both sides. The only issue is that herO obviously went into that charge early. Now doesn't really have much use for having had it early. Whereas if he'd gone Blink, he would have been able to continue to probably poke around with Blink Stalkers at this point. So it just kind of sets you off into a bit of a weirder position. Probably better for Maru overall. Because his build has been very regular, and regular usually is good, right? Whereas herO's build has been a little bit off from the norm. And so going off from the norm but not really taking an advantage from it kind of, yeah, puts you down a little bit. So not the hugest of deficits or anything like that, but I would definitely say it puts you down a step or two. Concussive Shells and the Combat Shield both building as the army comes out onto the map here from Maru. Cyclone locks on. Probe is going to get taken out. This army settles into the center. Marines coming over. 2 shots coming in. Again, the extended thermal lance and the blink continue to come about as well. A couple extra zealots and gateways coming online as we speak, just bringing those straight through. Things are under siege, and we are going to continue to step forward here in the middle of the map. Maru's army, about 20 army supply ahead, has a +1 attack upgrade that his opponent does not have at all. herO on his way to extended thermal lance for the Colossus that he's building, plus the blink. Both those are very nearly done. So a lot of things going to be on the map and very shortly able to help here for herO. The Vikings shooting. The shots going the other way. Colossus, Zealots, Stalkers all gathering up together. So again, we get everything joined in. We're going to continue up that right-hand side. 1 probe goes down already. We're going to actually attack in. A couple of immortal tank shots, hitting away. Stalkers getting pushed back. The Vikings coming through. Guardian Shield still active. He has a few SCVs stepping forward with this from Maru as well, so you'll have the potential to bunker up. Maybe even missile turret. Help zone the Colossus from attacking into this army. It's not an unheard of concept as the Burrow the Widowmine's a little bit further forward. Tanks in good places. Zealots are going to come charging through here. Now we're going to sit atop the ramp and let the Zealots kind of clump up and charge in. Very comfortable so far. Still got to really use the SCVs as part of this. First Colossus is going to go down. Colossus on the natural going to be safe for the moment. The hallucinated Colossus took no damage also. That fake out did not work. Those Vikings still gathering up. A few Marauders taking damage. And that tank already sieged up on top of the Robo Base. The Robo Base taking damage. Again, the Colossus firing. You can see the Gateway and the Battery continuing to take shots at the moment. As the Bioforce will continue to just whack its way through. Well, first attempt at breaking out from here didn't exactly go well for him. Still going to be down by an attack upgrade as well, so that's going to be one thing that Maru will continue to retain in his favor as we see the next round of Zealots going in well before everything else shows up, just by a few seconds, but makes the difference, right? Gives Maru the chance to clean those up a little bit before taking damage. Yo, those Colossus are getting low, and that Colossus there is actually in danger. Vikings step forward. The Stalkers going to get rid of a lot of the Vikings, but it did mean that we got the Colossus, which means there's only one Colossus left, especially now we've depowered the Robo, so I don't hate the choice. I think it's a reasonable decision from Maru, who is maybe getting a little overextended. He will get rid of the Colossus, though, and now there's no splash damage remaining, so this position of herO becomes even more difficult. Again, Marine Marauder Medivac still coming through. Just having ourselves the army coming across the map. It's another SCV pull. Around, I mean, obviously just wants to keep the pressure up right now and stop anything from really developing here. Feels as though he's got enough momentum in this game just to put a close to it sooner rather than later. The Zealots come charging up. The Marines are going to delay and deny. And herO's on 12 army supply, guys. It's that group of Stalkers and pretty much not much else. 6 Zealots warp in, trying to accompany this, but this really is a game that is, I think, a little bit too far gone on the side of herO here. Maru's siege position is not being broken down. He has maintained the tanks throughout all of this. These tanks have just been sat there. 11 kills on one, 12 on another. They've just been sat there absolutely farming the opponents. Farming that Protoss army. Every time he steps up and steps in. As our Nexus will take a few more shots. Here we go. Zealots on two sides. Tanks are going to be in trouble. Zealots are going to get blasted. And I think we've got ourselves a Maru who is going to be victorious, which means that we are going to get ourselves a game 3 between Maru and herO, which I actually was not at the moment. Still kind of playing toward the idea of, hey, I'm going to just, you know, go for some of the faster aggression and trying to get things done early. It's been kind of Maru's MO in a lot of the matchups lately, I think, which makes sense if, again, you've got a bad shoulder. The less you have to play, especially through these qualifiers and things, the better it is for you. He's trying to save that shoulder for the more important matches. Then again, he played a freaking 30-minute TvT earlier against Bjorn, right? So yeah. TvT's like that though, right? Sometimes TvT ends up like that. Maru in the top right-hand side will be facing herO from the bottom left, whose probe is already coming across to the other side of the map early. We're gonna nibble. SCV taking some damage. Turning around, probe taking a few more shots. Again, barracks coming through, SCV coming up. Gets settled in here for a couple of moments early. Oh, probe just being as annoying as it can be. We've got a Zealot on the way here from herO, which is interesting. Build a Zealot, you generally want to go across the map with it and apply some pressure, so unless he cancels that, yeah, it looks as though he might get a Zealot over the other side and put some pressure on Maru in those early stages, so something just for us to keep an eye on for sure. Yeah, he did build it, so yeah, the Zealot is going to come across the map, and like I say, that's just one unit early in the game than you're usually going to have in these scenarios, so just going to start stepping across with it, trying to get something done. Let's just have the Warp Gate coming through, the Adept coming up. The Nexus just building on that natural as well, so continue to get this going for the moment. Bring that straight through as the CC comes online. And yeah, factor in, so continue to come about. Just going to see the Stalker and the Warp Gate coming in. The Hellion and the Starport setting up. A couple of the Marines and the SCVs moving around as well, as we have the Zealot already striking at the front door. Depot taking a couple of shots. The reactor will finish very shortly. And yeah, we are going to be able to nip our way through that depot, or at least try to. Marine behind it, and a Hellion now as well, going to make it a little bit of a better and cleaner defense. So, yeah, just going to try and stop that from being too much of a problem. And yeah, Robo Facility coming up, Gateway on the way in. Now we got a Stalker to join the mix and match group of Protoss units at the front here. Depot down, and so herO actually gets in, if he wants to be in. It's weird because you can't really step in because then you get trapped. So the furthest you can really go is the depot. At least you got to keep something on the depot to kind of stop that from going any further kind of wrong for you. And giving Terran the opportunity. Widowmine not going to even burrow. And if you can get to the low ground, you can burrow the Widowmine though. And then you have a guaranteed kind of defensive unit. And that's why it's the priority target. So herO gets rid of that. Doesn't have to give up any unit to deal with it. And Maru, it's a little scary that we've still not really dealt with this. The longer that he doesn't really deal with this for, the worse off he is going to end up feeling coming out of this at the end. It's definitely getting into a little bit of a tricksy situation. As the Adept and a couple of Stalkers will continue to ping their way through the depot at the moment. That depot's going to go down. That depot will fall because the SCVs were pulling to repair it. Maru's just in a world of pain. I actually think he's in some trouble because he's indecisive with the SCVs as well, so he clearly is not quite sure what he's really trying to do here. Now, of course, medevac across the map, 2 Stalkers from herO. He knew this was coming, so he will greet it with open arms and say, "Welcome to my base," and be denied, as the medevac has to lift up and boost away once again. Siege tank, the Banshee, the few Marines all continue to build at the moment, so Maru's follow-up will be aiming towards the idea or the concept of, you know, let's get into a lot of those units which are high power. Banshee has huge harassment potential, obviously just high damage output as well. If you want to go for that singular push, could be a possibility too. Adept shades up toward the natural, not really much coming out of there. Do have the, again, Banshee and the tank coming about. The Marine is on the way as well. Immortal and the charge building through as we just have the Widowmine. Setting up out the front here currently. A few Stalkers, 2 Stalkers and an Adept, going to warp in immediately. Going to step straight into this main mineral line here and just go for 2 of them SCVs. Get rid of 1 Stalker, the Adept getting chased a little bit too. And Temple Archives, the Immortal, and the Charge all coming through for the moment. Prism actually just loops back around, unloads onto the low ground now. Big push. Marines, tanks, a couple of SCVs. Similar to what we've seen before, Maru looking to try and get damage done early then. It feels difficult to make this work when you've taken so much damage from Maru as the early stages, right? Like, this was not a good start for him. He lost 9 SCVs. He got held up massively. A lot of SCVs were off the mining line as well for a while. Like, it's not been a good start for Maru at all. Your hope right now is that maybe herO put a little bit too much attention into this attack and didn't macro as well back at home. He is going to not have a third base, so there's not even an easy pick-off here for Maru. I mean, if you're Maru, do you even need to really stick around right now? You see no third. Are you just going to try and shove into the natural? Charge will finish. That wasn't done initially for herO, but I mean, looks as though it's going to get a chance to finish this time around. Stalker showing up. The unit's trying to come around from the other side as well. I mean, 3 tank siege is always going to be a threatening army, right? It's always going to be something here that can hold a bit of ground and look pretty decent as the pylon will take some hits. The Marines and the Banshee coming up. Just having the army coming across, a few SCVs extra being brought with this as Maru looks for. I mean, this is all good because these SCVs need to figure out which way they're actually going to go. herO sees it as well, so you can maybe get some free pickings. Bunkers will come down. Oh, herO a little bit supply blocked, so actually a little bit of a panic moment for him maybe as he tries to work out of that. Bunch of pylons coming up. Get him his robo facility active and building once more. Feedback on a couple of the Banshees. We are actually going to start attacking into this. Let's see what we can do. Wouldn't mind hitting the Zealot. The bunker's doing their job. We are going to have ourselves one siege tank going down. The Mortal's dropping off in the back, helping with that heavily. But 2 tanks still remaining. Is that enough for Maru? He has got a bit of buffer in front. He's got another tank showing up. And we, for the moment, are going to hold on to these couple of bunkers. That tank's going to try and slip itself in between the base, in between the bunkers as well. We're actually going to go for another round here. 4 Mortals. Oh my goodness. 4 Mortals are going to be absolutely huge. Tank's still firing back. Obviously, these Stalkers are... Yeah, GG gets gold. I was going to say, these Stalkers are obviously firing, and the tank's taking damage. And herO just going to be having too much. The Immortals especially, though. Like, their Immortal count was just so good. That's going to be GG. herO takes it 2-1 as Maru really relies on attempting to end the